Although primarily used by those who are writing a dissertation or thesis, knowing how to format and index your tables and figures gives your document a professional look. The illustrations page immediately follows your table of contents. I have created a sample dissertation or thesis in which I've inserted the illustrations page. So let's begin. This is a sample dissertation by a student in BGU, Baki Graduate University. I've included some of the normal pages that we include, but the illustrations page always appears immediately following your table of contents. So here's the contents page, and if I scroll down, you'll see that I've already added the illustrations page. You entitle it Illustrations. You want to make sure that you mark it as heading 1 so that it will generate into your table of contents. And if you don't know how to use the Styles menu, I have created another instructional video that tells you how to use the Styles menu if you need to learn that. So on the left side, the left margin, you're going to type the words tables, and a little further down, type the word figures. So let's insert a table. So you put your cursor just a couple of spaces down from the word table. Then you're going to go into the References tab, and you're going to click on the words that say Insert Table of Figures. When you click on that, it brings up a dialog box. And the first time that you're going to create your tables and figures, you want to make sure that you change the formatting. So you go to the box called Modify, click on that, and you're going to modify your tables and figures. Again, click Modify. And the format that you're going to want to use, click down here on Format and click on Paragraph. And the format that you're going to use for all of your tables and figures, your left indentation is going to be 0.25. It's going to be hanging indent, so it's going to be hanging, and then again by 0.25. Before, your spacing should be 0, but after should be 12 points. Your line spacing should be single, and then you want to make sure that your tabs are set up to position 5.99. Alignment is right, and you'll want a dot leader. Click on Set, and then OK, and then again click on OK. Click OK again, and OK again. Now this is going to say, this is an error message, meaning no tables of figure entries has been found. We need to go back and make sure. So what we've done is we've created figures. So I'll just change this. I'll make this figures, and we'll make this one down here tables. And I'll show you why when we go back in to Insert. So go below again and go back up to Insert Table of Figures. Now you'll notice the caption label automatically goes to Figure. Well, that works for the last one, but this time we're going to do Tables. So go down and click on Table and say OK. You've already modified the format, so you're OK there. Now it looks like our always should be, in academic writing, all of your font should be 12 points. So I just changed that by blocking it and changing to 12 points. So let's go down to our first table or figure. Here's your abstract, chapter 1. Now this person is talking about the town of El Paso, the city of El Paso. So she wants to include a map of the city of El Paso because she's talking about it. So what I've done is I've pulled a map from Google Maps. So this would be considered a figure. So a figure title goes below the figure. When you're doing a table, your table number is going to go above. But right now we're doing a figure. So we're going to go to the bottom of the figure, click on References again, and this time we're going to insert a caption. So click on Insert Caption, and it defaults to figure. which is correct in this case. So what we're going to do is you put a period, space, and then title this whatever it is. So this is a map of El Paso, Texas, and hit enter, and you'll see that the figure and the title has appeared. However, this format is incorrect for academic writing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into, click on Home and go to bring up your Styles menu, and this style is actually called a caption. So what we want to do is change that. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how to change a style. You click on this down arrow right next to where it says Change Styles. To the left of that, click that down arrow, and it brings up a dialog box. Doesn't want to work. And click on Apply Styles. And you'll notice that it's brought up on the left a column that says Apply Styles, and the style name is Caption. We want to modify that. So click on Modify. Now this is correct. It's supposed to be Times New Roman 10 point, bold, and let's click on Format and Paragraph. We want it to be single spaced, and we want after to be 10 points. So change that to 10 point and say OK and OK. And you'll notice now it's formatted correctly. Map of El Paso. Now we did take, this was taken from the Google Maps, so I want to indicate the source. So you type the word source and a colon, and then wherever you found this figure or whatever, if you have to give credit, if it's not a creation of your own, that is, then you're going to want to give credit. So I'm going to put Google Maps. And you could insert right here the URL for that map and then put source in italics. Okay, so that is how you insert the title and the source for a figure. So now let's go down. I think that there is a table. See, here's a table here. So what we have is a table that's been created by the student. So we don't need to give it any source, but we need to put this title into the caption. So I'm blocking that. I'm going to do Control X to remove it. I'm going to make myself some space here. Now the tables, as I said, the title of the table goes above the table. So again, we go into References, Insert Caption, and this time we want to label it Table. So go down here under Options, click on Table, and you'll see it automatically change that to Table. Again, put period, space, and then I'm going to paste with Control V the title that I took, and I'm going to say OK, and there we have our title with our table number. Let's see, I think she's got, yeah, we have another table here. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to block, cut, give a little space there, go into Insert Caption. This is Table 2. I do a period, space, Control V to paste in what she had, the title that she had, and there we have Table 2. Now let's go back up to our illustrations page, and here where we had figures, we said to insert a table. Well, we had no figures, but now we do. So let's say Insert Table of Figures. We want to make sure that our caption label is Figure, and say OK, and replace Yes. And there we have our map of El Paso, Texas with the page number right there. Now let's do the same thing for the tables. Insert Table of Figures. This time we have Table. We say OK, replace Yes, and voila, there are our two tables that we just created on page 4. So now the next thing that you need to do when you're just about ready to turn your paper in, you need to delete the word figure and the word table. So if you have a whole lot of them, you can do a search and replace. search for figure space and then replace with nothing, but you need to be very careful that you do search and replace each one. Don't do a global search and replace everything, because it'll erase all of your figures. So if you only have a few, you can just backspace to erase that word. And then you put right after the period, you want to put a tab. Anyway, you're going to want to have a tab space, because when you have more than 9 tables, it all aligns correctly if you have that tab. Okay? So that's how you create tables and figures.